We are all over this new official U.S. embassy opening in Jerusalem, but it's caused havoc right now. 52 Palestinians killed related to that. They say this is not the time to be doing that. The Palestinians, of course, have been saving East Jerusalem for what they consider a future Palestinian state. So with the Israelis claiming that they control Jerusalem and this will be recognized as their capital, we recognize that, Guatemala and Paraguay does as well, then that will never happen. And they're not happy. The former Israeli ambassador to the U.S., Danny Ayalon. Ambassador, thanks for taking the time. The reaction you've seen from Palestinians, again, not surprising, but surprisingly violent. What do you make of it?
Well, I would say, again, it was unprovoked. And it's not the first time, unfortunately not the last time. The Palestinians do not need any reason to attack us. They do not accept the very, very mere fact that it is our land, that we have our own rights. They have started with suicide bombing long ago, and then knifing, and then ramming with cars. By the way, whatever the Palestinians start with, then it goes contagiously to other terror organizations all over the world. They have started all the way back to the 70s and 60s with the hijacking of planes. So what we see today is that the Hamas, a terror organization which is recognized as such, not just by the United States and Israel, but also by the European Union, which is amazing. So what they're doing is that they are forcing their people to come on our territory, to go on the fence, and no country can allow that. And we try to minimize, of course, casualties, but this is very difficult. And also, Neil, one thing is very important to note is that they embed terrorists with rifles and with explosives among those civilians who come to our border. These civilians are basically used as a human shields, and for the Hamas, it's a victory because the more that get killed, the better for them.
I'm sorry, I know we have a delay between our two cities, but I do want to get a sense of where it's going because the oil markets have read this to be sort of like a panic situation. Now, oil was up ahead of all of this and the Iran thing and everything, so I'm not blaming that exclusively on this, but a sense of instability building in the Middle East here, for which there might not be an imminent return. How do you reassure folks who put their money on the line in this region as well as saying, well, you don't have anything to panic over?
Yeah. Well, Neil, I think maybe there is a spike, but I don't think that this, momentarily instability is going to last. The Palestinians today are not really a factor of instability. I mean, they can sting us here and there, but from a strategic point of view, they cannot change things. By the way, their issue, the Palestinian issue, is now very, very down on the international agenda. Iran is a different matter, but I think following the last round or the last match that Israel had with Iran, I think it is also quite obvious that Iran can be contained. So I believe that with the Palestinians in a day or two, we'll see calm again. And I believe that oil prices would go down to where they should be from an economic point of view. Strategically, I think today Israel is in a position to really keep the region safe. And this is why, Neil, most of the Sunni countries, first and foremost Saudi Arabia, but all the other countries are relying on Israel, are aligning with Israel against Iran and the aggressive Ayatollah's expansion. So I believe that fairly soon we will see markets come, and because the region itself, I think, is safer today, notwithstanding Iran, than ever before.
All right, the Iran thing notwithstanding, if you'll indulge one more question, sir. Right now, the only other countries that are part of recognizing Jerusalem as your capital, or for that matter, putting their embassies there, are Guatemala and Paraguay. So no European country, no other prominent country other than that, that they think that this is stirring a hornet's nest, and that the Palestinians now have no hope down the road, whatever you say about some of these groups, and many agree with you, sir, that there is no hope right now that in East Jerusalem down the road will be part of whatever country, territory they claim. Is that true?
Not at all. Actually, on the merit of the issue, if you read in between the lines, if we dissect President Trump's announcement about moving the embassy and recognizing Israel as the capital of the state of Israel, of the Jewish people from, for millennia, He did not exclude the Palestinians. He did not mention any specific demarcation. Quite the contrary. He mentioned that any final status agreement will be agreed or will be achieved by agreement of both sides, Israelis and Palestinians. He went even further than that to say that the status quo in the, on Temple Mount will not change, which means Christians and Jews cannot pray there, only Muslims.
All right, Ambassador, thank you for taking the time. I do appreciate it, sir. Be well.
Thank you.